Thank you. Lord, we want to say thank you.
Oh, I'm just moved beyond words, man. My good, yeah. I'll be in until Sunday morning. Leaving early Sunday morning, buddy.
Leave a number with William where I can reach you, and I will reach out to you. I'd love to see you.
Okay, yeah, I'm down at the local Marriott Hotel. But anyway, you got my phone.
I'll give him your number.
Oh, good. Okay.
But you always.
So we'll be. Well, I'll sure want to touch base with you again like this before I leave, buddy. We can at least talk.
Yes,
you know.
Sir. Yes, sir. I will call you. Just leave the number with William. William, I've got to get back into the meeting, but I'll call you in about.
Okay.
No problem. Actually, I text you Rodney's number yesterday. So to text, text me. His contact number is in your message.
Okay. I'll call you back in 15 minutes.
No problem.
Thank you so much, Rodney. God bless you, man.
Okay, bud. Thank you, man. God bless. Talk to you soon.
Omaha, the Burbs, the Bluffs. Welcome to the Boss Morning Show, Part 2. We just got off telephone with my man Buddy King. He was in here yesterday. Oh yeah, one of the patriarchs of Black radio. And since it's Black History Month, oh yes, Black History Month. Oh yeah, 2024. I got a historian. I got a historian in the building. He's a historian. Oh yeah, he's handsome like me. Oh yeah, he's handsome like me. Without a doubt, baby. So, but he's married though. I'm not. So you can't have him. You can't have him. But I'm free. Happy Valentine's Days to everybody. You know, I didn't get a hug. Did you get a hug?
I got a hug. Yeah, I got a hug, William.
I got a hug. Okay. All right. So now this brother. Oh yeah, you know how these stars are. You know how these stars are. They get their own noun, verbs, adjectives, prepositional phrases, all yes and predicates. I'm gonna let him introduce himself. We'll get right into the dialogue because, like I said, this brother is a patriarch of this. He's been doing this for a while. Well, I think he's retired now. I don't know. He's still moving around, so I don't know how you can retire on life. But so how you doing today, bro? How you doing today?
Oh, fine, William. I'm sorry I'm late, but I'm just delighted to be here and delighted to hear from my good friend Buddy King.
Yeah. Oh, heck yeah, without a doubt. And it's a full circle. Because being myself a young lad, you can sit back. I'm putting that mic up to you. No, you good. Being a young lad and hearing about KOWH, but actually listening to KOWH as I went to school, catching the bus. Yeah, I think I was in junior high, and then high school, KOWH and KBWH when I was in a little bit in college and stuff like that. And I remember Papa Gator's Soul Regulator. You know what I mean? So,
great Herman Pearson.
Oh, heck yeah! And then his daughter still watched our show.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
oh,
Michelle. Yeah. So, and she donated some of his albums to 95.7 The Boss. So the Papa Gator is still around here also.
Oh man.
So we got some remnants. So now we got brother Rodney Wead. Rodney Wead was instrumental in bringing a collective of brothers and sisters together to invest in the first radio station here in Omaha, Nebraska called KOWH. You might know some of the people that he collaborated with. Who are some of the people that you collaborated with to bring the first radio station here?
Well, yeah, man. On the side of my good friends, I recruited McSwain, of course, Conrad. I mean, not Conrad, but McSwain, Buddy King, and several other young people. But the people that really stood by me with this idea, because no one thought I was crazy, recommending we buy a $400 radio station, $400,000 radio station. But people like Wilbur Phillips and Warren Buffett were all supportive of the idea, so which gave me the impetus to move on to raise the money.
Okay. Now, you said the actual Warren Buffett?
Yes, yeah. Well, I went to school with Susie, his wife. This was with high school, and we kept in touch through college. And
Right.
And so Susie was the one that got me involved, and she married Warren. And Warren Buffett. Warren was like to watch me run track. He went to Benson High,
Right.
so that's how he met. He came over to watch track and field and met Susie.
Okay.
And then of course they have a couple of kids.
Uh-huh.
So Warren started out carrying papers, had a paper station like the War Herald paper station, and the rest is of course a history.
So how old are you now?
I'm now 88 and a half. Yeah.
88.
Trying to make 89.
Okay, well, you gonna do it. You're gonna do it. You still moving around. As long as you're moving, you're grooving.
I hope so, William.
So now, high school. So what year was that?
Yeah. Those are the years. Our high school years was my 49 to 53.
Wow.
At Central High School.
So you was in Central High School in the late 40s, early 50s?
Early 50s, yeah. 1949 to 53.
Wow.
Yeah.
I wasn't even born yet. I had about
I know.
I had about
Your parents probably weren't even born.
Yeah. But my mama was born in 1930. So when were you born?
Yeah, 1935.
You were born 1935?
Uh-huh.
Okay, my mom was born 1930. So wow. Well, where you from?
Yeah, we're born and raised here in this great city, this great black community, raised in the housing projects. My mother raised the three of us. We were very, very poor. The Logan Fontenelle Homes is where I claimed. And we moved from abject poverty up to the projects. We lived over on 20th Street initially, and then moved up to the projects. And that was a blessing because every person that I befriended at 1945, every friend but one became very successful and were very good friends until their death. I've outlived everybody, but most of my all my eight friends that I, was with during that time were very successful. Of course, everyone knows about Bob Gibson, but I have a friend named Isaiah Davis, born and raised here in Omaha, projects. Isaiah was the first Black to help design the nose cone out of Cape Canaveral, the first nose cone out of Cape Canaveral. He is the man that helped design that piece.
Oh, so he's the architect?
He was a double E electric engineer.
Okay.
And his name was Isaiah Davis. I'm sure there's still some Davises around his family. So yeah, that's how I started out. And then, of course, several blocks from here was my first job at Houston Grocery, right next to the Fair Deal Cafe.
Okay. And
then we moved on. And the people in this community, this beloved community, did much for me.
Okay. Now, you say you ran track. Did you go to college?
Yeah, I ran track. Roger Sayers broke all my records. I was a pretty good sprinter.
Okay, you're a sprinter.
Ran 100-220, but while I was in Dana College, Roger came in from and his sophomore year he raced in everything.
Okay.
Anyway, yeah, I ran track and ran in high school and college.
Okay. So you went to Dana on a track scholarship then?
Yeah, an exorbitant, track scholar and an exorbitant scholarship.
Okay, cool. I went to Midland Lutheran College, our rival, on a track scholarship also.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So, how'd you do in college?
I ran. Yeah, my best times were in college, and I played. I was in college with. I'm dating everybody. No one would remember this great name. A guy named Marion Hudson, who was the All-America football player and 4-time All-America track. He was a javelin king. He held the javelin record for so long. First Black to run that. To throw that javelin at the Drake relays.
Okay.
And he never had. So we had a very good track team. Needless to say, we had 2 cars that we travel around in, and those 2 cars we dominate the track event if there's enough people in it.
Right.
Now, we couldn't beat anybody in a dual meet or a triangle meet because we didn't have enough guys.
Right.
But there were enough people there. Dana College was always at the beginning.
Always competing. So wow. Man, I always say the track athlete is the best athlete because the track athlete have to go against time, distance, the weather, all these other variables. We're not even talking about the opponent yet.
Right.
Yeah, gravity. You know what I mean?
Gravity. Yeah, right.
The wind. We got to deal with all those forces as a track athlete before you even talk about your opponent. And so that's why I would say the track athlete is the greatest athlete because you got to go against God's elements first.
Yeah, I think so. I agree. And one-on-one, the one-on-one competition, you think you're doing it, and that too, I favored the track athlete over everybody else.
Okay, without a doubt. Now I played basketball in college, but track, I love track. I was All-American in track. I was all conference, all district in basketball. But I love track, and plus, I like to, hang around with the track girls.
Of course,
from the other team. Yeah.
Speaking of track, during my day, Wilma Rudolph.
Okay,
you heard her?
Pick it.
Yeah. Well, during my day, Wilma Rudolph was at her zenith, and we track guys, man, we couldn't wait to get to a track meet because we might see Wilma Rudolph.
Okay, so did you guys see her at Drake? Because Drake is the biggest one of the biggest.
The Drake Relays.
Yeah, Drake Relays. I ran there. I jumped there. Well, I ran and jumped because my coach made me run. He made me run. But at Drake, you see her at Drake because I seen a lot of world-class athletes at Drake. Well, I don't know if Drake was that big back then, were they?
Pardon? Oh yeah.
Okay.
So,
at Drake Relays, yeah. Do you see her there or anything like that? Because that's one of
the
biggest.
The all the relays. There were 5 big relays: the West Coast relays, the East Coast relays, the Drake relays, and
was it Penn Relays? Was that around?
Pardon?
The Penn Relays,
and then the Penn. And so we would be there, of course, and we would wait for those great track women to run, and we would always like to just kind of work out and finish in time to watch them work out.
Without doubt. So you're almost back. You're almost back in Gerald Sayers. I mean, not Gerald Sayers. What's his name? Owens, Jesse Owens.
Oh,
that's way back. Jesse Owens was.
Yeah. So. Well, I think Jesse Owens and Ralph Metcalf were the 2 that really pushed, and unknowingly, I think, the excellence of black athletes, particularly in track and field.
Right.
From the 100-yard dash to the 800.
Uh-huh.
I think it was Jesse and Ralph Metcalf that gave us, he's 10 years my senior, of course, but still I always want to be like Jesse Owens, in the projects. Right. And in the housing projects, we had named everybody that was halfway decent. We gave them a name of a great black athlete.
Okay. Great. Now, where you at now? Are you still in this area? Are you?
I've been in St. Louis, Missouri for 26 years now.
26, okay.
And always longed to come back to Omaha, but my wife wants to say, I'll leave right now and come back if she would want to. But she's not around. So
she must be still out down in the car. Must be listening. Now, you still have family around here?
Yes, I said a few. I've outgrown most of my family. I don't know, but anyway, I have a couple of relatives, a niece and a couple of cousins, and there's several nieces and maybe 1 or 2 nephews. That's about it.
Okay. Well, are you in the? I know Buddy King just mentioned he was just inducted into the Press Club Hall of Fame. Are you in Nebraska Broadcast Hall of Fame or the Omaha Press Club Hall of Fame? Have you been recognized on that level yet?
Not recognized by the Press Club, but I've been amply recognized, through our community off and on. So
okay.
Yeah, I'm quite satisfied with the reception and the friendship I get back when I come back.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So, so you raised $400,000 in the 70s. So that's like a million
In the 60s.
in the 60s.
Yes. Yes.
Wow.
The KOWH was officially born 1968.
Okay.
And so I had to raise, for those first 2 years, I had to raise almost $400,000.
Wow. In 1968, where
That'd be equivalent to like $8 million today.
wow.
For radio.
Yeah. Heck yeah. Okay. Wow. And so it's all about relationships. And you mentioned Susie Buffett, the mother Susie Buffett.
Yes.
So it's relationships. It could kind of go what my mom always taught me. My mama taught me that if someone treats you good, you treat them better because you might need them one day.
Well, indeed, that happened. We, of course, met when we were kids, but I started working with the Archdiocese, the Catholic Church here. It was my first big job. A great guy named Jim Stewart, who really kind of got the civil rights movement. He had Father Calarn to moving here in the Black community in 1961.
Okay.
60, yeah.
Cool. Now, my good friend, dad is Eddie Staten. So how did you get involved? Were you involved with the Mad Dads also? It's like you had your hands in everything.
Well, because Eddie Staten worked for me. Eddie Staten was my program director at Wesley House.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, and I was involved. But earlier, yeah, at Wesley House, I had all the young guys and gals would come to congregate. We had an outstanding program.
Right.
We had 5 or 6 staff persons who really loved and appreciate the Black community. So we had programs. We had to schedule, activities like we're scheduling on the radio.
Right.
Because there's so many young people. Well, some of those young people were the Eddie Statens and the McSwains and the Propagators. They all kind of followed me there, and
right.
And we did a lot of work together as youth. Long before I even thought about a radio station.
Okay, so how old were you guys then?
Pardon?
How old were you guys then?
Well, let's see. I'm Eddie must have been in their late teens, I guess. Early teens.
Okay, so using your 20s.
Oh, but I met them when they were all 10, 11 years old.
Right.
But they were, by the time I was able to get the station, they were 17, 18 years old.
Right. Okay. Okay, cool.
And they were proved to be just great kids. So got them, and I got a young man named from the station in Kansas City, and to come in and to tutor and mentor the 4 guys I mentioned more. And McSwain fell in love with him and copied his style of delivery, and I guess Eddie did too a little bit, but Eddie. Buddy had his own style. So I was so impressed with how this guy could fly with Flyman. Mm-hmm. Right now his name would come to me as I talk to you. And that's where these guys got their incredible delivery of being an incredible disc jockey.
Okay, cool. Well, shoot, man, you're part of that history. So what even gave you the idea to start a radio station? Because when I went to people and said, I want to start a radio station, no one believed me. I went to, rich people here, rich people there, of all hues, and no one still believed me. I took advantage of the Local Community Radio Act. It was legislation written by our then Congressman Lee Terry, which created a new classification of radio stations all across America. And so we are a new classification, 100-watt radio station, non-profit, non-commercial, non-profit radio station all across America. And so I took advantage of that legislation.
Okay.
So what gave you, and the reason why I had the idea, because we didn't have a station. I remember your station then. I remember Billy T had his station. He didn't last long. And we had a void in the community. I said, man, I want to start a station. What gave you the motivation to start a station?
It started. Yeah, I think that I have to blame it on the Lord. when I had a paper route, Omaha World Health paper route,
Mhm.
when I was a kid, when I was eighth grade,
Mhm.
eighth grader, and that paper route was was the toughest part of Omaha. Clark to Grace, 24th to 20th,
Mhm.
rough, Route 5. But anyway, while carrying the papers, I would carry and I would hear, I would go and I would hear the same radio station that was not familiar to me.
Right.
Well, there's a guy named Harry Bess, great man, and Omaha would not allow or sanction a black radio station or that much black music, but KOIL was the station. So I heard the Nat King Coles and others as I would pass the papers
Mhm.
and throw the papers. And I said to my little brother, Sam, I said, boy, that sounds, someday I want to get a radio station. So it started when I was
as a
very
child.
young.
Uh-huh.
Then I moved on. Now, after college, then I get the job. I'm lucky enough to run across the announcer his name I can't remember, Kansas City, and I was able to look at the possibility of a radio station. I didn't know anything at all about it, so the Methodist Church financed a trip to me to Houston, Texas, and I got orientated. So that's how we got the station here. Very hard work. I cried many a night because it was so hard. People didn't understand black radio, didn't understand the importance of black radio and the culture, like you had just mentioned before we came on the air.
Mhm.
You know what you were doing. You know, with the black entertainment. That's all culture. So that's what got going. So I was lucky enough, just over and over again, to entice the Methodist Church and then entice the black community. And then my buddy Bob Gibson and Gail Sayers came through with a sizable amount of money of investment. So I had prepared common stock and preferred stock. And the common stock were the Bob Gibsons and the Gail Sayers and the Bob Boozlers, because I wanted the station to remain. And the preferred stock were the Warren Buffetts and others, and the Methodist Church and so on. So that's how I was able to, over a long period of time, raise $375,000 is what we needed to purchase the station from the Starr brothers who owned the station. Well, it was called KOWH, I guess.
Okay.
But we were so proud, William, because we had the AM and FM band, and we knew that the FM would be the future. I'm going back, 60.
Right.
We knew AM was still,
You're still
big,
jumping.
big.
Yeah.
But we knew the AM band would be it. So Buddy King and Mac would work the AM station, and that was more of our educational station of Black history. That's why Black Omaha was so ahead of everybody. We were on to Black history, and then the FM, mostly music, and as Buddy I borrow the word from him, sock and soul. Sock soul is what it. And so that's how we got going.
Okay.
And we raised the money, and so on April of 1968, that station went on air, and we had a good time for a while.
Okay. Now, what other ventures have you gotten into besides radio? Was that kind of like your last big venture, or did you move on to something else after that?
Well, yeah, I've been very, very lucky. Again, most of my programs, but I put together the Community Bank of Nebraska here over on Ames and 50-some Ames, and the radio station, of course, the credit union, the Franklin Community Federal Credit Union. That became the largest low-income credit union in the country. It grew that fast, but then some scandals occurred, and unfortunately that went on. And then and housing, all the housing you see on 20th Street, all the new housing coming down Hamilton, the new
Yeah,
the,
I remember that right across from the school.
the Cum Heights, the right by McDonald's. All that is, I was able to get all that done as a project from Wesley House. So from Wesley House came these projects, and they became noteworthy, and people would come in from around the country to get a look at them and go back and do their thing.
Okay. Wow. So when you come back, how do you feel? Are you happy that things are changing, or things aren't changing?
No, I must be quite honest. I hope I've always been quite honest, but my heart dips a little bit when I drive down. I like my wife to come drive down 24th Street, Dodge, and then come down 24th. And when I enter this community, I can see where, if a miracle doesn't happen, I think our community, our beloved Black community, I don't know how. I can't see 5 years, quite frankly, because of the lack of, it seems, interest or commitment on the white community. Last time I was here, I was so pissed. I was given a tour by a couple of my white friends who support me tremendously. And I gave them a tour, and I was amazed at how much infrastructure and how much newness is on the east side of Nebraska, all that. And I was just driving, thinking that some of that money could have easily been right here in this community, and could have been utilized better.
Yes.
But all of that newness and all those buildings and stuff, and good stuff for sure. I almost want to cry.
Yes, sir.
Because that the city council and the mayor should be just, well, anyway, they simply have just ignored, and particularly Omaha. The Omaha Black community is a viable Black community. It inherited incredible stand-up skills, organizing skills. I know, because it started before my time, and it's merged. They're all here, and to neglect us, Omaha, like that is beyond sinful. And so my heart, skips a beat once in a while, because this whole area of 24th Street could have long ago been the metropolis of the North Side. If just some money would come in, and that money all went to white folk on the east side. You know what I'm talking about? Behind the auditorium.
We're downtown. And even right now, there's a great debate that $90 million is going to be coming, and they're going to be building a business park, and they're going to be putting $90 million in the ground to get it ready to build.
They are?
Yeah, but it's not here in North Omaha. It's in Carter Lake. $90 million, and they just getting it ready for people to build. So there's a lot of environmental stuff they had to clean out that land before they can build on it. They're gonna spend $90 million. They can take half of that money, and then that's the argument of the community. And some of the people that are leading the charge.
I'm sure.
Yeah, you know them. That's leading the charge. They could take half of that $90 million and put $45 million on 24th Street and build buildings all along along 24th Street, and then allow people to buy them. We got so many vacant lots here. Buy the vacant lots, y'all. They could have bought the vacant lots and start building. $90 million, and they're gonna put it in the ground to get ready to build on it, and it's gonna take 4 years. And I just got a call from a lady earlier today, and she got to go to eviction court because she's getting evicted today. See, I deal with this. I'm on the ground level, man. I get these calls. I'm supposed to just endure it and take it all and not tell nobody. But our people are suffering out here. And they'll give $90 million into some dirt, where they could give some of that money could be trickling back to our communities. We got homeless people everywhere now. We got veterans that fought for us. So we have freedoms like this. My dad was Air Force, but we just don't care. My beat my heart skips a beat, and I'm 58. I'm 30 years younger than you, and I'm still fighting for freedom.
Please.
I'm still fighting for
Continue
freedom.
on, William. Continue on.
I'm still fighting for freedom, and having used my freedom of speech, people don't like me using my freedom of speech. They don't like it, but I work for God. God pays 10 times, and I got the body of armor of God too. I got the armor of God on. But I got 2 armors of God, just in case I want to use a sniper.
That's great, man.
So, man, we appreciate you. I appreciate you. I heard so much about you, and I was looking so much, so forward to look. To meet you, and I've been blessed to be in your company. So keep living, because you're necessary, without doubt. So you probably had to set some meeting up with some of your friends to meet me, and so I can have that conduit of opportunity, so I can continue to build. Right. Sometimes we need our elders in order for us to connect. It takes our elders. I used to love getting an elder call, y'all. When you get an elder call, oh, that's the call you want, baby, because they got connections, they got money, they got influence, they got experience. So there's nothing better than an elder call. Omaha, the birds of blessed, brother Wead. Is there anything else that we didn't discuss that you want to talk about? Anything else?
I did, but I wanted to talk about the migration of why we are where we are, how we stand so tall as Black folk in a city, in a state like Nebraska.
I heard that Omaha was and Chicago were the only 2 cities that they did not follow their slave master. Have you heard that before? That people from Omaha were independent. They came here. They didn't follow their slave master. They followed the livestock industry.
Well, yeah. You mean yes? That's probably. Yes. Thousands of Blacks from Alabama and Mississippi and Southern Georgia migrated with skills. Yeah,
right. With skills. Yeah.
With skills. Now the skills, as you and I define, but they had the skills, for instance, well digging.
Right.
Nebraska has the largest underwater supply in the world.
Yeah, water.
And somehow the Blacks in Alabama, Mississippi, found out about that and migrated here. And most of the wells here all the way down to Chadron were built, dug and designed by Blacks.
Oh, really?
And that was, from 1925 until after the war.
Okay.
But especially in the 20s and 30s.
Okay.
The other thing I wanted to say about our great people here is bricklaying.
Bricklaying, okay.
Yeah. Bricklaying was an art that we had, that we brought skills, brought from the South to Omaha, and most of the bricks gone, I'm sure now. But all the brick that, well, you probably might have missed it, that you would see from 10th Street all the way up, all the way down, were built. Were laid by Black folk.
Well, there's still brick on we're on 24th. If you go to 19th Street, there's still brick all the way down. So it's still brick. You see,
well, every time you see, I said, well, that's us, our ancestors.
Okay.
Yeah, we did all of that, and we are the ones that laid down Dodge Street. Dodge was like a hill, like a large hill, and we're the ones that made Dodge Street what it is through our work and the equipment. We knew how to operate the equipment.
Right.
And I'm just saying, the reason why the Blacks are still strong today is because of the incredible independence that many, many Blacks brought to Omaha.
Right.
And I say through skills.
Right.
Now, painting is another art that the Blacks brought here.
Mm-hmm.
And that also came from Pensacola, Florida. The point is that all the pretty homes that were painted by many, many Blacks who migrated in the 1920s here.
Wow.
But I think that's kind of important to see that the culture was here,
Mm-hmm.
and we just took advantage of it and nourished it. And so that's why I feel so badly now
Mm-hmm.
that I see it. It seems like we're going the other way.
Backwards.
Yeah, and I just, it it bothers me.
Yeah. Well, bro, we appreciate your evaluation. Oh man, we still fighting. We're still fighting.
Yeah.
We're still fighting. I tell this is Black History Month. Everyone. Our ancestors built this. Our ancestors built this country, blood, sweat, and tears, and we don't get the respect that's due. But first of all, black people, we gotta respect ourselves and respect each other, and then others will respect us accordingly. So it's our responsibility to learn of our greatness, and it's been my motto this year. If you're a black man, we can no longer suppress our greatness. We cannot suppress our greatness. Our families need us to be great, and when you don't suppress your greatness, all we're doing is bragging off God because we manifesting God-given talents. What's wrong with bragging on God a little bit?
Nothing wrong. Nothing at all.
So it's time for us, like Brother Wead says, it hurts his heart. His body language dips when he drives down 24th Street. Mine do too, because I know we can be doing better. And I know we got some gatekeepers that own a lot of this property down here, keeping it in the same condition. So I'm trying to be nice today. I'm not trying to drop no names today, but oh Lord have mercy. Pray for us. Brother Weed, man, I really appreciate you.
Oh.
Coming up these 20 stairs and you're 88. But you look in shape. You're in shape though.
Oh, wish I were.
I need to get you on the basketball court. I'll pass the ball to you. Did you play basketball? You about like 6'4", 6'5"?
6'6", yeah. I played, yeah. I was a pretty active athlete growing up, football, basketball, and track.
Okay, all right.
And yeah.
Well, should anything else anyone you want to say hi to before you get out of here? Any shots out?
Oh no, I'm just delighted to say a few words.
Okay, all right.
Station.
Omaha, Nebraska. We are talking to the patriarch of Black radio here in Omaha, Rodney Wead, as WEAD, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So that's a very unique name. So I know your plantation is very unique. The plantation that your family, your plantation.
Oh yeah, no, do you have a minute for me to tell you about how my last name, or are you?
Yeah, hey, tell us about your last name. Yeah.
Well, we're from Helena, Arkansas, and my grandfather was part of the rebellion, the rebellion on the railroads.
Okay.
In Helena, and he was hunted down, and he was lynched there in a famous.
What year was that? So you say your grandfather? So you talking about the 1800s?
I mean, my father's father. Yeah, he was. They were on the railroad, and they worked, and he initiated a rally. And what was the famous rebellion in Helena? At any rate, he suffered so, and my dad was so worried about. As he was rushing out of Helena to Omaha, to Chicago and Omaha, he was so worried that our name was WEED. And he was so worried that they would trace his name and up to Chicago, Omaha,
right? That
he changed his name, changed the wording to WEAD.
Oh, okay.
So that's how my dad, out of sheer survival, he thought, changed the name and so on. So,
wow. So your grandfather got lynched.
Yes.
You know what year that was?
I'm trying in my memory.
Was it early 1900s or 1800s?
Yes. Oh no, early 1900s.
Wow.
And
in Helena, Arkansas.
Yeah, Helena, Arkansas.
Wow. Well, you got a dose of Black history, y'all. In live and living color. Talk to my good friend, patriarch of Black radio here in Omaha, Nebraska, Rodney Wead. We're blessed to have him in the building. 88 years strong, without a doubt, baby. And I'm 58 years strong. We got 30 years apart, but we are doing the same mission. We're on the same mission. I'm walking.
Yes.
I'm walking within his footsteps, without a doubt. So I feel so blessed to have you here. Many more days on Earth. Naval Mahal Days is coming next year, so I know you usually pulling up during Naval Mahal Days.
Oh yeah.
So and anytime before then that you're in town, come and visit us. Come by and say hello. Come by and say hello. You got a standing invitation to come by anytime you're in town. You already know you can come through. It's already done deal.
Okay.
So you got standing invitation. All you gotta do is let us know that you're in the city, and just slide through and give us an update on some history. All right, brother Wead, Omaha, the Birds of Bloods. It is 11 o'clock, and I've been on the air for a while. Normally, I'm off the air at 9, but today, oh yeah, we had to do a little extra. Remember, today is Black Friday. Be purposeful on supporting a Black business today, and our neighbors. Oh yeah, our neighbors who we spend money with every day, our Caucasian, our Asian, our Hispanic, our Native brothers. Oh yeah, we spend money with y'all every day. We just want you to reciprocate and do some business with Black people today. Oh yeah, without a doubt, we got businesses all over Omaha, north, south, southwest, southeast, northwest. We everywhere. So support a Black business today. Support. Remember, we are neighbors, without a doubt. We're going to get back to the music, y'all. Boss with us.
95.7 The Boss.
You're Ski. This is YP and Tyrone. You're listening to my hot single, Push Up On You, featuring Lock the Dun. On the Beat Show, Top 10 Independent Countdown nationwide. 95.7 FM, The Boss.
Summer's too high. I blew it all on her, I get it right back. She put it all on me, I couldn't fight that. She love when I put on it.